Hey everybody, it's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie, and today we are going to be making some bookmarks. And I thought this would be kind of a fun and easy activity. You can use what you have to make this, but I will say that most of the items that I'm using I have up in the shop. So usually I use a lot of the things that I already have and I don't have to go out and buy anything. So I suggest you do the same thing, but I will have links below to everything. And if you love videos like this, because this channel is all junk journal related at this moment, and ephemera. So you want to give this video a thumbs up. You can do that right now, or you can wait, but you're going to like the video. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to hit the notification button as well. A few of the digital things I'm going to be using, I just want to show you. One of them is these vintage words. Oops, sorry, hit the mic because y'all know my ecosystem is crazy here. So I'm going to be using these words, which I love. It's like a 2-page set here. You could just print those off and use them as many times as you like. I'm going to be using some of those, and I'm also going to be using some of these. And you probably haven't seen these that much, but I love these because you can print them out like on cardstock, or you can do it on regular paper. You can glue them down to the paper or put them in pockets. They make fantastic pocket pieces. So I just wanted to show you all those. So all these come together, and you can check that out. Again, the link will be below. And then the last one that I'm going to show you, but it's not the last thing that I'll be using, is actually going to be some of these vintage vocabulary words as well. So I don't think I have the whole pack here, but I'm going to use some of these also because I like putting motivational words on the stuff that I make. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get started. So I want to use, we're going to be using some time cards for this job. And I really like using time cards for this because, when you have like a bookmark, you want it to have some stiffness, and the time cards definitely have some stiffness to it. So we're going to use some of those. So the time cards that I have green on the back, and they also have red on the front. So you can kind of pick and choose which color you want to use. And you could also just use a plain piece of cardstock if you want to do that. So I actually, I kind of took out some things that I wanted to use for this particular project. Instead of me rifling through things, I kind of looked at things ahead of time. So I figured that I'm going to use some of these pieces, and I'm going to put these, I'm just going to kind of set them on here and try to figure out how I want to place these. Oh, I forgot to show you too. By the time you all see this video, I also have a digital kit available that contain like images of like ancient Greece. And I made these images from a really old encyclopedia. And so I wanted to share those as well. So you can see I cut one of the pages up already. So I'm going to be using those also. So I already cut this guy right here. Of course, he was a square image, and I just cut around him. So you could do that, or you could rip around it, because I do, y'all know, I love to rip things up. So now I just got to figure out where I want to put this guy, because he's a king, I think. He's like King Caesar or something like that. So I think, I'm not sure. And I have some pieces of fabric too from my little sample packs that I just put up too in the shop, because I had like a gazillion of these. And even though I use these pieces a lot, y'all was just no way. I had to destash some stuff. There's no way I could use all the pieces that I have. But this is some very pretty gingham. And I think I want to put this down here at the bottom, I think. Maybe at the top. I think I'm going to go with the bottom. Y'all, and I'm sorry about the lights. I know things are kind of getting a little washed out because it's a sunny day today. And so the sun keeps going up and down. So let me just turn that light off. See if that'll make things a little bit better. And I also have like some die cuts, some mason jar die cuts. I love using these things too. And I have some of my words. And I'm going to put that on. I'm going to do some layering because y'all know I love layering and I love the collage effect as well. I don't know if I should put this at the top or at the bottom because I kind of like it at the top. And I have another piece of fabric that I wanted to use. So I just got to figure out how I want to put this guy or girl or whatnot on the fabric. Y'all know I'm going to do some sewing, right? She's going to do some sewing, folks, because I can't help myself. And I have this flower. I want to use my little flower on here. And these are from the Scrabble piece digitals. And I love using the Scrabble pieces themselves, but it's too much bulk for this job. So the pieces are just perfect. They look like the Scrabble pieces and they kind of work the same. Okay, let me just move some stuff around because y'all know this doesn't look quite right. And I'm also going to use a tab at the top. And this is a standard tab made out of cardstock. So again, all the links will be up and I'm going to put like a little grommet on there. All right. So once I figure out how to keep the lighting from going crazy, I don't know. Y'all don't even know what I was getting ready to say. I think instead of this being at there, I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. Give it a bit of balance, I think. I think that will work for me. And let's put Dear Mr. Caesar down here at the bottom too. I could actually move him over a little bit. I still do want to use the flowers. I want some of the green part to show. I think I have a good balance of colors on here. And then this piece right here, I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit, and then we'll have love up here some kind of way. I'm gonna let the letters be a little wacky. All right. Okay. I like that. You all like the placement of this? Y'all have to let me know if y'all think this is a good idea, but I think these will be like some wonderful bookmarks. So the next thing that I want to do before I start gluing things down, because sometimes I forget, is I am going to do some distressing around the edges. Now I was thinking that I would use like some green and kind of like distress everything green around so it'll have like a green thing. I don't know how I feel about that though. I don't know if I should just do brown or if I should just do I should do green. So I'm thinking I think I'm just going to be on the safe side today. I'm going to play it safe today, y'all. And I'm going to do our standby vintage photo. So now I got to move everything out the way. So I just have to try to remember how I did this. And when I fussy cut around this guy, y'all could tell I wasn't really doing that much fussing. I wasn't doing that much fussing with him. Let me see if this works a little bit better. Let me get something different. Yeah, I really tried to make it so I didn't have to be hunting and gathering while I was on with y'all. Because I know that's like a waste of time, but I don't mind chit-chatting through all that because you know how I am. I'm a chit-chatty kind of girl. So y'all have to let me know, what have you been up to lately? What have you made lately for your journals? So I haven't made anything in a really long time. So that's where we're at today. I haven't made anything. So this is the first thing I've made in a while. Or added to. But I would really like to make a whole lot more of these bookmarks because I really enjoy it. It lets me get my creative fix on. Sometimes that's all you need, is just a little bit to get your creative fix on. Get it going. All right. Oh, let me not put stuff back on here just yet. Yeah, I think this would still look even. It would still look good even if I didn't do any, vintage photos around the edges and stuff. But sometimes it's cool to be a little extra. I like being extra. I printed these Scrabble pieces out on cardstock, but when you're collaging and stuff like this, sometimes it's good to just use like regular copy of paper. It's not really necessary to do like the cardstocks, but I already had these printed, so these are the ones that she's going to use. Do some happy distressing. Like some things, I don't know. I know when it comes to like fussy cutting, I did like a lot of fussy cutting last night. I was cutting things out, and so just so I can store things better. And what I found after a few hours of fussy cutting was I was really kind of enjoying doing the fussy cutting. And y'all, that doesn't always happen, because sometimes fussy cutting is like a tedious task, and I think it drives some people crazy. Let me know in the comments, does fussy cutting drive you crazy, or do you feel like it's kind of like a mindless activity to help you to get your crafting groove on? For me, I felt like it was helping me to get my crafting groove on. All right, let's also do this card as well. Y'all, sometimes I'll go through a whole project without doing my edges, which is it's not necessary, but no. You could also like round the corners on this. Like I said, this is like maybe a little bit heavier than your normal cardstock, which is kind of cool because sometimes I like working with heavier materials. It has, when your finished products have like a richer feel. So I'm going to do the back of this as well. Because you never know, even though it's a bookmark, you can actually write on it. And y'all, this would be like a really good gift for somebody. It would be good for a swap as well. And like I said, if you don't have time cards, you can just use a piece of cardstock, or you can use some mail that you get that you don't want and it's kind of stiff. All right, so I think I have everything all together. So let me see if I can remember how I had everything. And then I can decide how I want to glue things on. Because I do want to do some sewing. And I'm going to pull my sewing machine out. So I don't want to stay on too long today. So I don't know how far, if I can do another one without this video being like really long. We might only just be able to do this one, and then I can show you some finished ones as well, because my videos are always way too long. Oh, y'all know what, this looks good already. Just by putting the vintage photo on there, everything, it looks like a piece of artwork, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to do some sewing now. So let me get the whippersnapper out. I know y'all miss seeing the whippersnapper, don't you? Okay, I have the whippersnapper out, so I want to be, I think I'm going to try to keep the stitching on this pretty simple, I think. Y'all know how I am. I don't even know if that's possible. Okay, so, and also, I don't know if I think I want to do some gluing before I actually do the stitching. Let's do this. We'll do like a little bit of stitching. So I want to put my little words on here, and like I said, I think I'm going to keep it really, really simple, and I'm going to use I'm very indecisive when it comes to my stitches. I'm going to do a number 17 on here. And it's been a long time since I used the whippersnapper too, so we'll see what happens with this. And so I'm using number 17 on my brother's SQ9185 computerized sewing machine. And I'm just going right across the top of this little cluster. Uh-oh, look y'all. I forgot to put the bobbin in there, so I got nothing. So hold on one second. Let me do a bobbin. So we have bobbin now. Y'all see, I told y'all it's been a long time since I used a Z whippersnapper, and of course I knew I needed a bobbin. I just didn't put it in there. I actually had to wind the bobbin as well. So let's see if we can get this going now. And of course, I know what you were thinking. You messed up your piece, but no, you know, nothing gets messed up in junk journaling. All right, so that's what that looks like. It's very pretty. Let me get on this focus for you all, because y'all know this is my life. Let's see if it'll focus in just a smidge better than it is. There we go. So you can see what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. So let me just cut some of this extra off. And so that's ready. And then another piece that I think I'm going to do some sewing on is going to be this piece right here. I want to put my little mason jar die cut here. These die cuts make a fantastic background, I will say that. And I'm just going to go right down this side. I'm going to use that same stitch. I love experimenting with the stitches, but then y'all, I get caught up in trying to figure out which stitch I'm going to use. Let's get over that. It looks good though. I like it. And that's ready to roll. And then, okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to, before I go around the edges, I'm going to do some gluing next. So let me move the whippersnapper out of the way. Okay, so I still have to try to remember where everything is supposed to go. So I am going to use, let's start with this guy down here at the bottom. Let's put the flowers on first, and just get a little bit of paper here. I'm just using some of my my little Elmer's glue for this job because I love it. I love the purple glue because I can see what I'm doing. And of course the purple is going to disappear, and that lets me know when it's dry. Alright. Yeah, I'm sweating. It's hot in here. Y'all know this has been a very hot summer. Has it been hot for you all like it's been hot for us down here in Florida? I know Texas is. They're Florida hot too, but I think we're getting a lot more rain than Texas is getting. I actually talked to this guy yesterday because I had to call like a customer service rep some um, for some other projects I'm doing. I just don't have enough glue on it. And he was saying he stayed in Texas, and I was telling him about the rain, and he was saying that it hadn't rained that much there. So is that true? Because I thought you all had like kind of the same kind of weather that we had. All right. I know my hand is kind of in the way. It's been a while since I did these kind of videos. Y'all have to cut me some slack. All right. So there's Mr. Caesar. We're gonna call him Caesar. I don't know if he's Caesar or not, but he's the king right now. And then the next thing I want to put on is this because I want the love to be over the top. And I think with this, I'm going to use some of my Aleene's Tacky Glue. So let me grab a bottle here. Let me see if I can get the top off now because I haven't used this in a while. So we might have a spot of glue kind of sticking everything up. All right. And I usually store these bottles upside down, so they're quite easy. Yeah, I didn't put that fabric on right. I put it on upside down, but again, there's no mistakes. So I'm gonna go all around the edges here and even on the fabric. And I'm gonna let the other part of the fabric kind of flap in the wind, if you know what I mean. If you get my drift. And then, because I don't mind things kind of hanging off. All right. And the reason why I used the tacky glue instead of the Elmer's glue is because this is made of cardstock, so it's a little bit heavier. So I want to make sure it stays, so when, you know, we take it in and out of our books, we won't have any issues. So let's put this piece on, and again, I'm going to use the tacky glue for this. You could even use like double stick tape and it will pretty much stick, but like I said, I don't want to take no chances. I want this to stay up because I'm like I said, I'm gonna make a lot more of these because I like this. It makes me happy, but I don't need them all. So I'm going to put them up in the shop. I'm going to keep a few for myself because I always have some books and planners and stuff that I could definitely use these in. Y'all, this is coming together really pretty. And then what I wanted to do was sew this before I put this piece on. Oh well. You win some and you lose some. All right. And this, I want to do the same thing because it's sitting on top of this instead of just using like regular glue. And these are cardstock as well. I'm going to go ahead and use the Aleene's Tacky Glue. And I'm not even worried about it, you know, sitting up on the edges too much. I think it will be all right. It's gonna be okay because this Aleene's Tacky Glue, it ain't a game, y'all. It ain't a game. It sticks really well. And I put some nice little globs on there. Sometimes I think I over glue stuff. Are y'all over gluers? Okay, wait, y'all. I gotta get I need to get something like a wet wipe or something. So one moment. I got my wet wipe so I can get the glue off of me and off my paper. And the good thing about the things that I print, oh, you don't have no glue on you. The good things about the things that I print is that they will not bleed. Probably should have left that alone. They won't bleed. So they can be a little wet. Of course, if you soak things with water or moisture too much, it will bleed, but for the most part, it will not bleed. So yippee-yay for that. All right, and of course, once this dries, some of that glue that's on the side and stuff will definitely turn nice and clear. Oh, this is coming out pretty. Like I said, there were some things I should have sewn first, because y'all know I'm not done sewing yet. Yeah, put that there. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is some sewing, and hopefully that'll go okay since we have this glue on here now, but I don't plan on going over this glue part, but y'all know how that goes. You know how that goes. All right, let's get the whippersnapper back out. So I left this on number 17 on the whippersnapper. So if you all are new to the channel, the whippersnapper is my sewing machine. Yes, I gave my sewing machine a name. I'm going to actually sew my tab on here, so hopefully I can do it straight, because sometimes I get a little wacky with my tabs. Okay, and I'm going to use that same stitch as I said. My foot pedal is not in the right spot. Okay, here we go. Turn that speed down. I don't want to go crazy with it. Especially since I had that thick tab. Alright, it's looking very pretty. One thing about sewing is that I don't have to worry about anything coming off when I sew stuff. But I just like to go around the edges so it has like that decorative look. It's looking good. I like it. Like I said, I kind of wish I had sewn around the edges before I put this down, but it still ain't too shabby. If I do say so myself, and I do, because y'all know I love sewing. Every time I think about doing a project without putting sewing on it, it never works out for me. I'm like, I want to sew. Now, should I go over this piece of fabric? I don't think so. I'm not going to go over that fabric. I have the opportunity to go up under it, so we shall do that. Just gonna. All right. Let's cut this and let's move the whippersnapper out the way, and then we can take a closer look. This is what we're looking at. Everything is secure. Now, Mr. What's his face? He is going over just a little bit on this side. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think it'll stay stuck on here with glue. It might, because I think I would rather do it that way than cut it. I don't know. It's just a little bit hanging over, but I'm just filling the glue right now. Let me get my little purple glue, put a nice little dab on there, and that will stay nicely. Surprisingly, these glue sticks are very strong. And so the next thing, because we aren't finished, because you know we have to go the extra mile on this, is we are going to use our crocodile, or if you just have a punch, you can use that as well, but I didn't really feel like digging for the punch, and I had this one available. However, I just need to make sure it is set correctly. So if you have a crocodile and you don't have your instructions, I have the instructions are up in the group, which I didn't mention. If you like junk journaling and you want to share and get some ideas, you can come over to Facebook. And the name of our group is Junk Journal Buddies, and the link is below as well. And this is going to be 3/16, so without the washer, so it's going to be A1. So let me see, it might already be sit. I believe so. Yep. All right. So I'm going to put, let me see, where do I want the hole at? Let me check and see where I want the hole at first. I think I want it on the end here. Yeah, okay. That's where I want it. I think that'll give me a little balance too. Let me turn it this way so I can see. I know you all can't see, but I can see. That's what counts. Let's see, about right here. I think it's gonna be good. And then, y'all, I almost forgot how to use this thing. All right. That's how long it's been since I've used it. And then I always like to turn my little grommet or eyelet over. Y'all, earlier I could not think of what to use this time. There we go. Good night, Irene. Okay. Ta-ta! She didn't want to act right. And then now we have our bookmark, and we have a little spot here where I can probably add some type of embellishment there as well. So that's pretty cool, huh? So that's how these will look. So I'm going to come back to you and show you. I'm going to do a few more off camera, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like. Okay, so we are back. So we did this one on camera, and I did 2 more off camera because I had all the pieces together. So, and I think they came out quite lovely, because y'all know I love collaging. Yo, do y'all love collaging as much as I do? And of course, it has lots of sewing, so I'm gonna I don't think I can bring you in anymore. You won't be able to see everything, but what I did was, on this one, I think we did everything together. And I made sure to only do the sewing around the edges. So if you wanted to do some writing on the back, you could, or use this as a writing board as well. And then I added just a few little charms at the top, because, you know, dangly stuff are always nice to have. I love dangly stuff. And I put this, I love the letters on here for love. And down here is actually handwritten. It says, I love my life. So in case you all were wondering what that says, I love my life. Let me just make sure you can see that okay. Because y'all know, me and Mr. Focus. Me and Mr. Focus. Look at that. Y'all see all the stitching on there? And of course, doing something like this, it takes a little bit of time to do and some details, but it's just something I love to do. So I really got my crafting groove on today. And then this one right here is kind of has like a blue theme to it. I added some dangles to that as well. And on this one, I used kind of like a messy stitch around it. Actually, is stitch number 25. Stitch number 25, it has the fabric on there because I love all the layers with the fabric and the printables we have on here. It's just nice, like when you run your hands across it, it just has like a really good feeling. So I love that. And then the third one that we have here has a green theme to it, and I put some lace on there. Got some little dangles, and on this one it has a Scrabble piece on it. If you decide that this is one that you want, then just let me know. And if I have the Scrabble piece with the letter that you want, I'll replace that one. Sometimes I don't have the letters. And I did all the stitching around it as well. Got some botanicals on there. Y'all, these are some sharp cards. I have been wanting to do these for a while. So I will probably put some more of these up in the shop as well. I'll probably do some more of these. So if you are on with me today, I really appreciate it. If you would like to get one of these and kind of help me to not have to worry about putting it on Etsy, I'll have a link, a PayPal link for these, and then you can contact me by email after you pay for it, and I will ship it out immediately, because I'm still shipping stuff immediately. And even though they said the U.S. Postal Service at this time is slower, people seem to be getting my items pretty quickly, so that's quite nice. So I just want to thank everybody who has been hanging with me and you come on with me. And also thank you to all of my customers who are on here too. I really appreciate it. And so with that, I am going to go ahead and shove off, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And please leave a comment. I would love to know what you think and if you would like to see more videos like this one as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and shove off. So from your lovely Lizzie, love, peace, and hair grease. From your sweet, lovable Lotus Blossom Lizzie, have a fantabulous day and enjoy life. Bye.